Hey everyone, it's Shrinkrave here, and in today's video, we're going to be going through the top 5 zoo animals who escaped, and you can't really blame them for trying, but I'll tell you what, some of these animals pulled off some really smart-ass MacGyver type of shit. It's really cool, you're going to love it. But before we get in this video, if you guys have ever been to the zoo, then make sure you leave a like on this video, and of course, comment down below, and tell me the craziest thing that you've ever seen happen at the zoo, and let me know if you like zoos or not, or maybe you hate them, I don't know what your life is like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so it'll help out. But let's go ahead and get into this top 5, which is actually a top 8. In the number spot, a couple years ago, there was these massive floods over in this place called Tbilisi, Georgia. It's over by like Russia and Turkey and shit. But there was these massive floods in this town, and the zoo in this town had a bunch of animals escape during the flood. And it was like some serious full-on Jumanji type shit. I'm talking like there was hippopotamuses and a bunch of different animals that were out and about.
Dozens of animals, some potentially deadly, roamed the streets, sprung loose in the chaos after floodwaters crashed through their enclosures. Authorities warned residents to stay indoors. A bear was found taking refuge on a second-story air conditioner. A roaming hippopotamus was cornered on the street, looking as dazed and confused as those around him, until it was shot and subdued with a tranquilizer dart and guided away. Ostriches wandered aimlessly, lost in the mud and debris.
Moving on to number 7, this is easily my favorite clip on this entire list. It is just hilarious, but this is a 911 call, and it's kind of a bit of a stretch because it's not actually animals who escape from a zoo. It's animals who escape from a circus, I do believe. I'm going to count it anyways just because it's funny as shit. But this 911 call is about a bunch of elephants that these people found walking down the street in this neighborhood. I just love this one because it's so ridiculous, and the 911 operator and everybody else involved is just so downright dumbfounded.
Hi, we've found an elephant walking down the street near the community center, the Ray 20.
Where?
We found an elephant walking down the street. Like the ones from like the circus. One of them got loose and it's walking down the street.
How big are we talking here?
Like full-grown elephant. It's like the ones that like to have at like the circus that like the people ride on and stuff.
Right.
One of my friends is like, it's following him and he's leaning it back there. But they're huge.
We'll see what we can do here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
If there's any cars clear in Newmarket, we have a report of an elephant currently walking down Eagle Street from Ray 20 Complex. 11:35, I have to clear for that. We've located the elephant on Crossland Gate. Apparently somebody has led one of the elephants back to the tent. There's one standing here at the intersection, and there's one still outstanding, last seen traveling north down on Crossland Gate.
That outstanding elephant's on Crossland Gate, and it's just eating somebody's tree. That's what.
Ready, number 6, you know how I said at the beginning of the video some of these animals pulled some real MacGyver type shit, some real smart stuff? This is one of those. These chimpanzees, they use some real amazing engineering, I guess, if you could say that. I'm not really sure. I'm just bullshitting out my ass right now. But they pulled off some really clever shit.
Zoo officials say one clever chimpanzee ripped down a 6-foot tree branch and used it to climb the enclosure wall. He beckoned 6 other chimps to follow him up. 3 hopped down the other side into a zookeeper area.
Chimps are so smart, and then they live in this big social group, so, hey, I found a way out. Why doesn't everybody come and join me?
Zookeepers walk the exhibits daily, looking for large branches, but a 150-pound chimpanzee is strong enough to pull one clean off a tree and smart enough to know how to use it.
They will use that intelligence they have to sort of problem solve. Well, they solved a problem.
Solving a problem of their own, zookeepers used food to bait the chimps back to their enclosure. Some came for their regular dinner. Others needed an extra treat.
We may have had to use some malted milk balls at the end, the final enticement, which is not their normal diet.
In the number 5 spot, I think this is the scariest one in this list because this animal that escaped the zoo is pretty dangerous, and he was not happy whatsoever. He was really pissed off. But this is a lion that escaped the zoo in Chile, and they were trying to recapture him from this swamp that he was hiding in.
The most terrifying of all animal escapes has brought police and soldiers to this neighborhood. A lion has broken out of the city zoo and is now cornered in a swamp. The frightened animal is trapped, but not about to give up without a fight. Soldiers armed with tranquilizer guns wade into the murky waters, overcome with fear. This man can't stop shaking long enough to load the tranquilizer dart. The soldier takes aim and hits his mark. The beast is returned to the zoo, but there's no telling when it will make its next attempt to escape.
Moving on to 5, this is a wild one right here. This is another chimpanzee named Cha-Cha the chimp, and this one happened over in Japan. And this chimpanzee ended up escaping, was climbing on power lines, going crazy, that kind of thing. People were trying to capture him. Now, they did actually end up capturing him, and he took a bit of a fall when he got captured, but he ended up being perfectly fine, even though it looks pretty dramatic.
An unbelievable and at times terrifying 2-hour pursuit that ended with this edge-of-your-seat, high-wire standoff between Japanese authorities and Cha-Cha, a 24-year-old male chimpanzee that escaped from the Yagiyama Zoo in Sendai and made his way to this residential neighborhood and up an electric pole. The drama played out live on Japanese television. At times, Cha-Cha treated the power lines like tree branches and screamed at workers trying to capture him. Now watch what happens when a worker shoots him with a tranquilizer dart. Cha-Cha goes after the guy and almost falls in the process, even pulls the dart out of his own back.
The animal now is all riled up, and thank goodness that animal did not jump in that bucket, because that animal, 8 times they say, the power of 6 full-grown men.
But even sedated, Cha-Cha does a pretty good tightrope routine, still determined to get away. But the tranquilizer kicks in. Cha-Cha tries but struggles to hold on, and finally, a dramatic plunge. Workers were ready for him below and carried him away.
Number 3, we had a tiger who got loose from its enclosure at Jungle Island Zoo in Miami, Florida. And the crazy thing about this is that this tiger's cage or enclosure was actually above safety regulations. So they went above and beyond, and this tiger still got out. So this dude got some hops.
So unexpected. We're still trying to figure out exactly how he got to the top.
And even fish and wildlife investigators
it's a bizarre situation.
Can't explain how a tiger this size could even escape.
According to Jungle Island personnel, the tiger clearly had a running start. He'd take 2 giant steps, they say, and jump. Suddenly, Mahesh would hit that fence, stunning himself and everyone watching.
And we enacted our protocols. We got on the radio. We got the immediate people here to safety.
But the fact it did, triggering an investigation that will likely result in criminal charges against the park's owner and hundreds of dollars in fines.
Moving on to number 2, I'm going to keep this one short because there's no audio on it, but this gorilla escaped from his zoo enclosure and started walking around the park. Obviously, all the people at the zoo, the tourists, got sent out because you don't want to be walking around with a gorilla out. But he was just going and checking out trash cans and doing usual shit. And finally, the bonus part in this video off with a mandrill who escaped from the enclosure that it was in. Apparently, they hate going in the water, but he was so scared that he was trying to get away from other mandrills that were kind of like bullying or attacking him or something like that, that he went through the water and then escaped out where everybody else and all the people watching them were.
Okay.
Oh. Oh. Anastasia!
It's coming.
Those are the clips that I have for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like on this video. If we can break 10,000 likes, that would be insanely awesome. I'd appreciate that. And also make sure to comment down below and tell me which one of these clips is your favorite. Which one of these zoo animals escaping was the craziest one. And let me know if you've ever seen anything crazy happen at the zoo, or maybe you saw an animal escape or something like that. I don't know what your life is like. Tell me any stories that you have down in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel because it'll really help out. And if you want to see another video kind of similar to this one, make sure and check out a video that I posted a couple days ago. It was the top 5 teachers who slept with students. So you can go watch that, I guess. Some crazy teachers and really bad ones. Just some crazy shit. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. Definitely go check it out. But that's much it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later, though. Shebang, bitches.